Yeah, there are some places I just can't get my head to go. So this one's just a little bit of an explanatory video. Actually, not all dissimilar from the one I did, I think it was last year, explaining why I don't really get into shipping. Although I think the reasons are a bit different in this case. In that case, it was because shipping means indulging in the kinds of romantic entanglements that I would actually forcibly remove from the vast majority of entertainment that I partake in the first place. I'm not going to pretend to pair off people when most of the time I don't want them. I don't want anybody actually paired off. That's not to say I'm 100% above it, but anyway, I'm rehashing. Stop. Move forward. So this time I'm going to talk about fan theory, which every now and then I have somebody ask either in the comments or in a live stream, either what my thoughts on a fan theory are, or do I have any theories about, well, usually Doctor Who, occasionally Star Wars or Marvel. But in general, fan theory just is not something I'm able to really partake in, either in terms of doing it myself or really just even diving into other people's. So this might actually, anyone who's been around for a long time, and I mean a long time on this channel, this might strike you as odd because I think it was the very first Doctor Who no, it wasn't the very first, but one of the first Doctor Who related videos I ever did was my own theory and prediction about the then upcoming Day of the Doctor. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long dang time. And it turned out I was wrong. But that was kind of a rare exception where my brain kind of clicked of like, ooh, maybe it's this. But also, if you actually go back and watch that video, heck, I'll link to it, why not? You might notice that my thoughts are pretty vague. I don't have a very detailed theory. I don't have this specific, oh, well, it's this and connects to this and it's backed up by this, then this. It's not, I don't want to say that it's like half-formed, but it's the bones of a theory. And that's a big part of why I don't get into this, because most people who really dive into it, what most people are looking for when they ask for a fan theory is something really meticulously plotted out and intricate. Something like, I hate to use it as an example because it's kind of dumb, but something like the Jar Jar Binks is a Sith Lord fan theory. That I never bought for even a half second, and I did read, I'd say about half of the really detailed version of that, but part of what was intriguing was seeing how many dots somebody was connecting in order to back up this idea. But my brain just doesn't work like that for a number of reasons. Part of it is because, as someone with my own creative ambitions, the amount of honestly inventive creativity, so this is not to knock people who do fan theory, but the amount of creative investment that you have to put into that, part of my brain keeps going, why aren't you working on your own stuff? Why are you making up what somebody else's universe looks like? Get back to your own friggin' things. So, and that's just my brain. And that's the thing. I don't have a problem with fan theory, although it is hard for me to take in. Like I mentioned, even that Star Wars one, I really only saw like little bits. And generally, whenever I take in fan theory, I tend to enjoy it much more if it's super detailed and about something I'm actually not a fan of. So, like, I will watch things on, I know it's the mainstream version. Yeah, I'm a pleb. But, things like film theory and game theory, I will watch, but almost never when it's about something I actually know about. But I will watch game theory videos on Five Nights at Freddy's all day long. I enjoy them because I enjoy the meticulousness of it. But I need a detachment from the fandom. Because if I know about it, if I know enough about the thing they're talking about, then there's a different voice comes up in my head. And that voice says, no, there's no way that this massive hidden thing has been part of the plan from the get-go. And again, that's not meant to disparage fan theory. I don't think, Someone can correct me. I don't think people who indulge in a lot of fan theory are necessarily hung up on exactly trying to find out what is going on. I think maybe some are. But there's certainly an inventiveness in, can I make these bits that don't make sense? Can I find a way to make them fit? I think that's also part of why I find fan theory a little easier to digest on something that's done, as opposed to something that, in theory, your theory will either be confirmed or denied from an upcoming piece of media. So, like, I couldn't get into any of the many fan theory videos I saw talking about who's the timeless child, or who are Rey's parents going to end up being, or, anything like that. Because I knew, well, we're going to get the answer anyway. And it's funny, for as much as I have, I think, anyways, a fair amount of creative energy, and my brain likes to do creative things, I also have a pretty strong pragmatic sense. I have a pretty strong voice in my brain that says, this is a waste of time. And not in that, like, nobody cares about your projects way, but more in a, why would you spend a ton of time coming up with a theory on something when you could just wait 3 months, see the movie, and find out what it's going to be anyways? And again, not to disparage anyone who does that. I think if you can do that, you can indulge in it, and it's fun for you, awesome! My brain won't let me do that, because I can't shut off that little voice that says, there's no point, do something else. So that's kind of a big part of the hang-up for me, for just why I have a hard time getting into it, or even taking in other folks who do. Because I don't want to outwit, the creators of something. I don't need to figure out the secret that they've been hiding. And I don't also need to connect all the dots. Actually, there's a fair amount of things that I like, where part of the reason I like them is because some of the dots are unconnected. So whether or not you can appreciate fan theory, indulge in fan theory, enjoy it as a form of entertainment, I think it has a bit to do with either how much you enjoy connecting dots or seeing them connected. And again, for me to enjoy that, it needs to be something I actually have no commitment in. Because there's a certain technical and inventiveness to that I enjoy and I appreciate. But again, if it's anything that I care about, it's oddly harder. Because I think I'm much more likely to just go, no, that doesn't track. Whereas if I don't know much about the thing, I don't know if that tracks or not. I can just enjoy this ridiculous thing that I'm watching getting laid out. And that can be fun. But it's not something anyone should ever expect from this channel or from me to either produce fan theory or to really offer up much commentary. And part of the other reason that I avoid fan theory, particularly on anything coming up, is I did accidentally at one point stumble across a fan theory that ended up being right and therefore ended up being a spoiler. So that's another reason, aside from the ones I already mentioned, that for me, I prefer to avoid fan theory about anything that is ongoing and not yet finished, because I would kind of like to experience whatever the thing might be with the amount of knowledge that I'm expected to have, not this extra knowledge that I shouldn't know. So that is yet one more deterrent. So if anyone wants to share fan theories with me, I'd probably be more open to looking at the ones that sort of connect loose threads to something that's already done. Definitely the predictive ones, I'm not a huge fan of. But it's just not something you'll get on this channel. And watch, how much you want to bet that, like, a week after this goes up, I'm going to have, like, a bolt of inspiration for, like, a ridiculous fan theory video. Because that's another thing my brain likes to do. Make a liar out of me. But in any case, we'll wrap it up there. Fan theory. It's cool. It's not really my thing for the most part. Anyways, just putting that out there because, well, I don't know. because I wanted to just put it on the record. So, whatever your thoughts on fan theory, favorite fan theories you have, fan theories that you've come up with, or just explain to me why you either enjoy watching fan theories or reading them or coming up with them on your own. I kind of appreciate the insight from people who get more out of it than I do. Whatever your thoughts are, drop something on down in the comments. Let's talk about it. All the usual stuff, like, subscribe, bell, Patreon, link in the description. You don't have to click on it, though. I'd appreciate it for sure, but end of the day, you're the council. I just run the meetings. And until next time, this council is adjourned.